Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming. My name is Jake Anderson. As most of you know, I work over in the supplement side as well as on the grocery side. I would like to ask everybody if you have your cell phones with you, if you go ahead and put those on silent or mute. If you do need to take a phone call, you can definitely go over there on the supplement side and use that area over there. This evening, we're going to be talking about beat cancer with your fork with Diane Burton. We will be offering a discount this evening. We'll reference some enzymes in the presentation, and I have some handouts you guys can grab after the talk. We'll have 20% off on all the enzymes. So if you want to try some out, or if you're currently using them, we will have a discount tonight, and we'll have the register open.
And that's for tonight only, right?
For tonight only. Yep. So more incentive to get those tonight. And without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and open it up to Diane Burton. Here we have one more person coming in.
Angie.
All right.
Someone else. Well, welcome to this presentation tonight. I am Diane Burton. I am the Masterpiece Coach, and I am a certified grief coach. I'm also a holistic cancer educator and a health and wellness coach. And I'm just very, very honored to be here tonight and to get to share this information with you. I want to thank Nature's Way for allowing me to do this presentation. I love this place. And I want to thank Jake for being the one to pull it all together. Thank you so much, Jake. And we're going to go through this presentation, and there's a lot of information for me to share with you tonight. And you'll probably have some questions. And so I'm going to ask, if you don't mind, to hold your questions till the end, write them down, because I want to honor everyone's time. You're here for a specific amount of time. And if we get started on too many questions, it could pull it too long, and those who need to go home could miss the end of the presentation. Is everybody good with that? Also, I have some handouts for you at the end. I have a list of anti-cancer superfoods, and so you can take that with you. I have a brochure about me. I have my business card, so please feel free to take those at the end. And I have my book on display just so that if anybody wants to look at it, they can. Okay, our presentation tonight, Beat Cancer with Your Fork. And the question is, can you? Can you prevent or beat cancer or other diseases with your fork? I want to give you a little bit of background of where this comes from. As I said, I'm a holistic cancer educator, and I'm certified through Dr. Susan Silberstein, who started the Center for Advancement on Cancer Education. She has the website beatcancer.org. I recommend all of you check it out. And their mission is to help people by providing research-based education on how to prevent, cope with, and beat cancer through diet, lifestyle, and other immune-boosting approaches. She is the founder and educational director. She's an international speaker on nutrition, cancer prevention, and complementary and alternative medicine, and the author of numerous books. And I have one book that I will reference in a little bit. It is a nonprofit organization, and she has helped over 30,000 cancer patients in the past 40 years. Many of them were stage 4, and she has helped them by following Beating Cancer with Your Fork and also working on the inside, our mind, our attitude. And she started the Center for Advancement in Cancer Education because of her husband. 40 years ago, her husband was diagnosed with cancer. He was 31 years old. And I want you to think back 40 years. We didn't have internet, did we? We didn't have cell phones, computers. We had none of that for her to be able to do research. So she was doing her research at a library. And so she was doing everything she could to find a cure for her husband. He was doing treatments. And he was a tall, big man, about 250 pounds, real tall, when he got sick. When he died, he weighed less than 90 pounds. And she said it was the treatment that killed him, not the cancer. And so she has been on a journey to work with cancer patients and to help them find other ways along with treatments if they choose to do that. It's your choice of how you want to go with working towards preventing or beating your cancer, especially beating your cancer. Okay, next slide. Just real quick, me. I'm also a grief coach. I'm married to Ken. I'm a speaker. I have 2 children and 2 amazing grandchildren. So that's good enough. This information is from research done through the Center for Advancement in Cancer Education. It is not to take the place of anything your doctor has told you to do. I want you to research for yourself. It's designed to educate you and to encourage you to do that research and take 100% responsibility for your health. The information is a guide and it's a first step towards taking responsibility for prevention and for healing. And Jake and I don't have all the answers. Naturopath doctors don't have all the answers. Your medical doctor does not have all the answers. We are still researching. There's still so much research being done on how to beat cancer. Yet this information that I'm going to share with you tonight, as I said, is a first step. It can get you started in that direction. Okay? Next slide. Cancer is a word and not a sentence. Many people believe that when they are told they have cancer, that it's a life sentence. It's a death sentence for them. Not a life, but a death sentence, excuse me. What it really means is that your immune system is compromised. The terrain. And did you know that any illness you get means that your immune system is compromised? Even if it's diabetes, arthritis, the flu, a cold, any type of illness in your body means that the immune system is compromised. In 2017, there were an estimated 1.6 million new cancer cases diagnosed and over 600,000 cancer deaths. And look at this, those numbers are higher than what was predicted between 2010 and 2020, and we're not even at 2020 yet, and they're already higher. Okay, next slide. Now, this I went to the internet, unlike Dr. Silberstein could do 40 years ago, and I pulled up, okay, what are they looking at for 2018? And this is showing how many cases of cancer they're looking at in each state, and what they're predicting is 1.7 million, or 1,735,350 cases of cancer in 2018. Something is wrong when we're having more and more and more instead of it going down. And I believe that the information you're going to hear tonight is a way to bring those numbers down. Go ahead. About 609,640 Americans are expected to die of cancer in 2018. Y'all, that is unacceptable. Translates to 1,670 a day. Again, that is unacceptable. It is the second most common cause of death in the United States, exceeded only by heart disease. Again, the heart, it's because the immune system is compromised. Men, the #1 cancer is prostate, #2 is lung. For women, it's breast, and #2 is lung. 42% of newly diagnosed cancers are potentially avoidable, including those caused by smoking, excess body weight, physical inactivity, excess alcohol consumption, and poor nutrition. Wouldn't it be wonderful to say there is a cure for cancer, and it has to do with changing our lifestyle? Okay. Now, some contributing factors. The Center for Advancement in Cancer Education believes that 90% of all cancers can be avoided, eliminated through environmental and lifestyle choices alone, and science and research proves that. Did y'all know that only 5 to 10% of cancers are genetic? Who knew that? Who always thought that, yeah, me and Jake, who thought that because mom, dad, or somebody in the family had cancer that you would also have it? Who thought that? Y'all not going to raise your hand? I thought that. My mom died of colon cancer in 2011. As soon as everything was finished and I was back home, I made an appointment to have a colonoscopy. And the doctor said, it's not time. And I said, but my mom just died of colon cancer. He said, get in here. Everything's fine. And then I started learning from Dr. Silberstein. Can you imagine how excited I was to know that only 5 to 10% are genetic? Of all cancer-related deaths, 25 to 30% are due to tobacco, 30 to 35 are linked to diet, 15 to 20% are due to infections, the remaining are due to things such as radiation, stress, physical inactivity, environmental pollutants. According to the American Institute for Cancer Research, more than 120,000 cases of cancer every year are caused by obesity. It is because, I think I'm getting out of my range of the video. Y'all imagine, just imagine when people will start paying attention to the food they put in their body, this number could go away. 69% of Americans are overweight or obese. The average obesity in the United States is 25 to 35%. So when people change this, we can start eliminating cancer. It has to do with taking responsibility for what we put into our body. Okay. Now, just real quick, cancer may not be about what you're eating, but what's eating you. There's a big link between cancer and emotions. And Dr. Silberstein, yeah, go back one. Well, you can go ahead to that one. Dr. Silberstein has done research, and one of the things we do when we work with someone who has cancer is its whole body. We want to find out what's going on in your life. Even your finances, your past, different things that are going on. Because when they started asking those questions at the center, they found that many emotions, there were certain emotions tied to certain cancers. It's not 100%, but it's a huge percent. So when they look at a person who has a specific cancer, they begin to then ask questions leading to, I wonder if this emotion is in this person's life, if they've had this type of situation. So there are lifestyle keys to prevent cancer, and we're going to focus on the diet, but doing a detox, there are lots of different detoxes out there and ways to do it. Aerobic exercise, I know a lot of people just do not want to exercise. It's key. It's so important. Do you know that just 20 minutes a day of exercise would make a difference in your life? Exercise opens up the endothelium, which gets the nitric oxide going, which opens up your internal pharmacy to put the natural drug, so to speak, into your body that God put there to help you stay well. If you sit around and never exercise, you're closing off that internal pharmacy and you're setting yourself up for a bad terrain, okay? Stress management, and that's where we talked about the emotions. And then safe sunlight exposure. It's really important to get a little bit of sun every day so that you get that vitamin D, okay? The body is programmed for wellness. Now, as I told you, my mom died of colon cancer. My dad died of heart disease. So I'm like, whew, I better be careful. So bad genes could load the gun, but it's my lifestyle. It's a poor lifestyle choice that's going to pull the trigger. If I choose to not take care of myself, it's my fault. It's not my mom's. The biggest way we interfere with the body's programming is with bad food choices. Think about programming your computer or a TV or your new phone. You got to do the right things or it won't work, correct? Do y'all agree? So think about programming your body. If I put the bad stuff in, it's not going to do what it's supposed to do. We put the good stuff in, it'll do what it's supposed to do. Just like your car. Who's going to put water in their car to make it run? No. You put gasoline. If you put anything else in there, your car will not work. Am I correct? So why do we choose to put things in the body that won't make it run correctly? Okay, so our main focus for this presentation is the connection between diet and cancer. Look at this. Look how many cancers are diet related, 75 to 80%. That's huge. Okay. Over 4,500 studies show that fresh fruits and vegetables will prevent cancer, and people who eat the most fruits and vegetables have 50% lower cancer rates. Woo, let's fill up on those fruits and veggies. Okay. Food will harm or heal, and what we have in the United States is a nutrition deficient problem. Did you know that we're the most inflamed people in the world? Americans are. And it's because of poor food choices. And here's what's really sad, is 80% of cancers are related to the standard American diet. What people are told that they're supposed to eat is what's making them sick, okay? So every bite you take is either fighting disease or feeding it. And I like to say every bite is either preventing or healing your body or hurting it. Okay. So the cancer protective diet, you want to eat primitive, not processed, lots of plants. You want to eat roots and fruits, greens and beans, seeds and weeds, some wild fish and game. And the foods you want to avoid, it's our modern diet. It's the stuff that everybody is like, oh, I love this. Meats and sweets, pies and fries, chips and dips, cakes and shakes, white foods high in sugar, cow dairy, and flour products. Now, there are ways to make a healthy shake. There are ways to make something healthy that is sweet if you just feel like you absolutely have to have it. I have a recipe for a banana bread, and it is really good. My husband even liked it. And that's big. And it's made with coconut flour or almond flour and honey. I'm not going to go into everything, but there are things out there that you can substitute if you just think you absolutely have to have it. What I've discovered is when I focus on these foods, I don't want these. My fruits and veggies begin to taste so good that I crave those instead of these. Okay, Jake. Be a nutritarian. A nutritarian is someone that they base their food choices on maximizing micronutrients per calorie. They consume a daily diet of 90% whole plant foods. They understand that food has powerful preventive and therapeutic effects, and they're a person whose food choices are influenced by nutritional quality. So focus on the nutrients that you're getting. Okay. Okay, there's a lot here, and we would hope that the bullet points would be one at a time, but something messed up on the computer. So hang with me as we go from top to bottom, okay? You want to optimize your omega-6 to 3 ratio. The ideal is 1 to 1, and that's how our ancestors lived. But do you know what? Look at this. The modern diet is now 20 to 50 omega-6s to 1 omega-3. That is dangerous. The omega-6 fats tend to suppress the immune system, while the omega-3 fats tend to boost the immune system. Is there anybody in here who wants to suppress their immune system? Okay, I didn't think so. So, are you going to be willing to take the omega-6s out of your diet? Eliminate these polyunsaturated oils from your diet. Soybean, corn, safflower, sunflower, so-called vegetable, and cottonseed oils. Y'all, these are cancer fuel. I don't know of anybody that wants to fuel their body and set it up for cancer. They're known culprits. Okay, look at this. Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. Is there anyone in here who wants those diseases? Okay, no hands went up. I know that everybody in this room probably knows someone who has those diseases. I have watched the heartache of a family because of the Alzheimer's disease. It's heartbreaking. And to think that we can eliminate, cut back on it just by changing our diet. Eat, for your omega-3s, eat wild, cold water fish like salmon. You want Alaska wild caught. You never want to eat farm-raised fish. Okay? Now, I've been told that it's safe to eat the fish from around our area. Okay? So, again, check on that. Sardines and anchovies, grass-fed, and you'll notice that I put 100% grass-fed. You can go to the store and it'll say grass-fed beef. But if it does not say 100% grass-fed, it's not 100%. And what they do is they will, by putting that on there, they can get away with it because they'll feed it grass up to a certain point, and then they'll load it up with the grains and the things that are not good for our body to fatten them up, and then they'll sell it to you in the store and tell you, hey, it's grass-fed. Not completely, so make sure it's 100%. Wild game, pastured hens and their eggs, raw walnuts, pumpkin flax, hemp, and chia seeds, preferably organic. Now, on this, when you buy meat, be sure to think about, and you've had your meal with some meat in it. Okay, what did you eat? Okay, let me get this right. Be sure to think about what you ate. Is that connecting? Okay, I just ate this chicken. Oh, wait a minute. What did that chicken eat? Whatever that chicken ate, it's going in my body. The pork, what did that pig eat? So we really need to think about that. Be careful what you ate. Okay? Okay, more about fats. Other good sources of monounsaturated fats, best unheated, are extra virgin olive oil, olives, avocado, and raw nuts. Saturated fats are more stable at high temperatures. Cook with and use extra virgin coconut oil. And on the olive oil, I want to mention this right now. Not all olive oil is olive oil. Did y'all know that? Yes. The way to check is to put a little bit of it in a glass container, put it in the refrigerator. If it stays a liquid, it is not olive oil. If it gels, it's the real deal. And I bought some at a store here, and after I heard that, I took it home and I put some of it in the refrigerator. It never gelled. So that went in the trash. So really be careful about your olive oil. Now, so we put a big yes to coconut oil and olive oil, and we're going to put a big no. Oh man, Diane, are you telling me I can't eat these things? If you want to be healthy and have a good quality of life, no, don't eat them. So do not consume hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated oils. These are your trans fats. And I also want to mention, you can buy a can of a product at the store. It's white and people use it to deep fry in. I'm not going to give any names. And it will say no trans fats. Have y'all ever picked something up and was like, oh, it says no trans fats. That means I can have this. It's not going to hurt me. Do y'all know what size serving that is? You want to turn it over and look at the serving size. The government has made it where if you have this certain amount of size, serving size, then they can tell you there are no trans fats in it. But I don't know of anybody that's going to use that itty bitty, maybe half a teaspoon or teaspoon, and deep fry their French fries. You do a deep fry in this no trans fat, you are getting a lot of hydrogenated and partially hydrogenated oils in your body. And that is going to go against your immune system. Okay. Just real quick, benefits of coconut oil. I love my coconut oil. I love my raw coconut in my smoothies. Skin care, hair care. You know what, Jake? I'm going to have to turn like this so I can read this. Because
Stress relief, weight loss, immunity, infections, digestion, diabetes, and heart health.
all right. Y'all heard all that. This is going to help coconut oil is amazing, and it's good for you. I used to be really fat. And by the time I was a senior in high school, I weighed about 213 pounds. I started losing the weight in January, my senior year. By the time I graduated high school and then went on to college, I was at a good weight. And I've kept it off. Here's what's interesting. A lot of the foods I was told I could not eat at that time, I was told those will make you fat. You cannot eat them. Coconut was one of them. Avocados, watermelon. I was told I couldn't have watermelon. Isn't that crazy? And now, I eat so many foods that I was told I couldn't have. So we've got to work on what were we told when we were young and make that transition to, oh, you know what? This is good for me. Okay. This is huge to reduce sugar in your diet. It is cancer's favorite food, and I have a feeling most of y'all already knew that. Cancer cells uptake glucose at 10 to 12 times the rate of healthy cells, and it will shut the immune system down for up to 5 hours. A little glass of soda, 4 ounces, is going to shut your immune system down 4 to 5 hours. I don't know of anyone who wants to just shut it down for that long just so that they could have a little bit of a soda. It's not worth it. And this uptake, what that means is a person who has live cancer cells in their body and they eat sugar, it shoots over to the live cancer cells first because they feed on it. They're like little Pac-Men going, oh, yes, yes. And when you feed a body that has live cancer cells, when you feed it foods it doesn't like, which are these superfoods on this list that I'm going to give you, the fresh vegetables and fruits, they don't like it and they die off. I have had people who have beat cancer with their fork, and it's amazing what will happen to those cancer cells. It stimulates the insulin release and IGF cancer growth factor, and it decreases the phagocytic ability of white blood cells. And I'm going to share something with you also about white blood cells in a minute. Okay. Oh man, this was a hard one for me to stop using an artificial sweetener. I was a pink packet person, right here. I grew up with a mom who, because I was overweight, we did Carnation Instant non-fat milk, the powdered milk. Well, I shouldn't have probably said a name. You can cut that out. And tea with saccharin in it. And I thought we thought we were doing great things. And I continued, and I even remember, this was before I knew better, someone talking about you need to get off of this. And I was like, oh, you know what? I've been on saccharin all my life. It's not going to hurt me. I'm fine. Well, I was wrong. I was absolutely wrong. And they have more cancer-causing properties than sugar. So you guys, stop it. And I now can drink tea without any kind of sweetener in it. Isn't that wonderful that you can do that? There are some sugar substitutes there. I love raw honey. I have a teaspoon every day. Molasses and coconut sugar, but use them in small amounts. They have health benefits. And of course on the honey, get raw. You want to get it in local, okay? You want to eat colorful. Fruits and vegetables contain an array of carotenes, flavonoids, antioxidants, and other disease-fighting compounds that are very difficult to find anywhere else. It's not going to come in the form of a pill you take. It's going to come from the real deal. Plant chemicals, or the phytochemicals, can fight cancer in all these ways. Reduce inflammation, boost the immune system, eliminate carcinogens, regulate the rate at which your cells reproduce, get rid of old cells, repair cellular DNA. And I want to talk about this reducing inflammation for a second or minute. When you go to the dentist, what do they do with that little, they prick your gums, don't they? Any of y'all ever have them bleed? I'm just going to be honest. Mine have bled. And this last time I went to the dentist, I thought, I want to find out, okay, let's talk about this. Because I knew my gums were healthier because of the changes I have made in my diet. In 2014, I had 26 points of bleeding in my gums. Y'all, that meant my body was full of inflammation. So when you get your gums pricked, if there's bleeding, that means your body has a lot of inflammation in it. In the middle of 2015, the summer of 2015, we were down to 13 points. This last checkup, just 3 months ago, I had 2 points, and they were very, very minimal. So that means that the inflammation is coming out of my body. That's what eating fruits and vegetables and healthy fats can do for you, okay? Okay, you want to strive to eat 13 servings of fruits and vegetables, mostly vegetables, daily. And if a person has the diagnosis of cancer, you want 3 vegetables to 1 fruit. And you want to be very careful about the fruits because there are some that are higher in the natural sugars. So there are better fruits. And again, I've got the superfood list over here. Okay, how many of y'all think you have 13 servings of fruits and veggies a day? Jake does. He does. No? No? I load them up in my smoothie so that I get them. And it's an all-day kind of smoothie. I don't do it every single day, but I do it pretty often. Okay? Juicing. Juicing is so beneficial. If I could read all this, Jake, can you read it for me? Because of the way the PowerPoint is.
Increase energy, sleep better, eliminate something bad, benefits your brain, live longer, meet your daily fruit and veggie intake, ward off stress, and improve digestion.
Ooh, aren't those great? Here's the thing about juicing. It does take the fiber out, and a lot of people who juice will take that fiber and use it somewhere else in their smoothie. But when you juice, you're getting the nutrients. And it's best if you can get ripe, okay? Because there's an ingredient in ripe fruits and veggies that God put there that cancer cells don't like. And so when we buy fruits and veggies at a store, they probably were not picked ripe. So frozen usually has been picked when it's ripe. So frozen fruits and veggies, okay? Go ahead. Okay, I want you to consume fiber. It's the non-nutritive part of the plant that binds up and escorts out cancer-promoting hormones and chemicals. So this is so important. You want to get 50 grams a day, and the SAD diet tells us to get 5. Is there any wonder that people are so sick if they're following the SAD diet? Fruits and veggies are rich in fiber as well as beans, legumes, nuts, seeds, and psyllium husk. The more fiber we consume, the more frequent and bulky are our solid eliminations through the bowel. Now look at this. Sluggish bowels and small stools will equal a large hospital. And I've got some information here I want to share with you about this apple. It binds 20 times their weight in bowel toxins. And the equivalent, okay, you guys, who eats an apple a day? I hope y'all change, every hand will start going up now. Look at this. 1 small apple a day could prevent 36,000 new cancer diagnoses in the U.S. An apple. Dr. Silberstein said, okay, we've always heard an apple a day keeps the doctor away. She says an apple a day can keep cancer away. And I'm gonna do something. If it doesn't work, we can, y'all see this? I'm gonna roll it out. I'm going to step off the camera a minute, but I want to roll this out because I'm going to make a point. That is 10,000 phytonutrients, all in an apple. That's what's in an apple. 10,000 phytonutrients. Is there any wonder what an apple a day? And it says small. Me, I love my apples. Let me eat several.
They should be organic too.
Yes, thank you. They very much need to be organic. any of your fruits and veggies that you're going to eat the whole thing all around like that, organic. And strawberries. Never ever buy a strawberry that is not organic. The pesticides that they use are multiple pesticides on them, and because of how a strawberry, the seeds are out, you can't get the pesticides washed off. It's not possible. Even the organic ones, wash them. Very important. And I know y'all know this, but don't use dish detergent or something like that. I've watched people do that. I'm thinking you're just adding more toxins. So you can use baking soda, you can use salt water, you can use veggie washes, you can use apple cider vinegar. There's different things you can use. So it's interesting that I received something on email. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. And this is from Food Revolution. Happy health benefits, fighting cancer, brain health, and more. Let me share with you cancers that apples can help to kill the live cancer cells. Liver cancer, breast cancer, multi-drug resistant cancer, esophageal cancer, and stomach cancer. And then here's some other things that apples can do. They help with help not have diarrhea. Hardening of the arteries, overweight. I thought this was really interesting. 3 apples or 3 pears a day can help women who are overweight to start losing weight. How cool is that? Anti-aging, the brain. Bowel inflammation, vaccine-induced toxicity, periodontal disease. Ooh, remember? Advanced glycation end products, and we're going to talk about the AGEs in just a minute. Hair loss, staphylococcal infections, and influenza infection. You guys, an apple is so powerful. Okay. You want to eat alkaline. On the pH scale, there's a range of acidity to alkalinity from 0 to 14. Our blood pH is 7.3 to 7.4. Our intracellular pH must be alkaline to promote healing. A cancer cell cannot live in an alkaline body. Okay? Tumors and most disease thrive in the acidity. So you want to strive to eat only 20% of your diet from acid sources and 80% from alkaline sources. So here's the ones that are most alkaline: meat, fish, dairy, eggs, grains, sugar, and fats. What is the most alkaline? Vegetables. The vegetables will, when you can get your alkaline level, it increases energy, normalizes weight, and protects against disease. Okay, next. Eat 50 to 75% of your diet raw. Sprout seeds and grain, juice your fruits and veggies, soak your nuts and dried fruit, thermo-cook your grains, and dehydrate your foods. Okay? Okay, here's where we're going to talk about food enzymes, and I'm going to share one with you. These come from the food we eat, and it starts the digestion process. Okay? Food enzymes will aid in absorption. They can be damaged over 96 degrees, and all cooked food is completely devoid of food enzymes. So if you're not eating raw fruits and veggies, you are not getting the food enzymes you need in your body. The less the body has to produce enzymes for digestion, the more these enzymes are freed up to heal, repair, and run our organs. This is why Dr. Silberstein taught us the importance of eating raw foods. Because if you are sick and you put cooked foods into your body, you're not getting the food enzymes you need, and it's harder to digest meats especially. Your fruits and veggies are easier to digest, okay? So eat raw foods with every meal, take food enzymes with cooked food, and this one is called Digest Gold, and I was talking to Jake about it, and he said this is a really good enzyme for... There's different things that the enzymes do that they have in the store. So if you have a specific issue going on, talk to Jake about it, and he can tell you which one is best. Okay, so check this one out. He's got some on the shelf. Also, thinking about how your meats take longer to digest than your fruits and veggies, I want you to think about, have you ever eaten a meal and then the dessert was fruit? And then you have indigestion because the fruit is wanting to digest. It starts digesting quickly, and it's here, and those meats and all are trying to digest, and it's causing some real issues in there. So always eat your fruit first. So if I go somewhere and I see there's fruit, I've taken the fruit to eat, and they're like, but that's going to be for dessert. You know, if it was all laid out, I was like, oh, I need to eat it first. Because otherwise, there's some real digestion issues. Let's see. Use simple food combining rules to separate starches and proteins at each meal. And there's a lot of different thoughts on that. However, the thing is, we're really not supposed to be eating a steak and baked potato together. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Eat organic. More phytonutrients, antioxidants, and minerals. You have no hormones, no antibiotics, non-GMO, no pesticides, and no artificial colors. So organic is the way to go. Okay? And eat native. Be a locavore. Do your best to purchase foods that are grown locally. And even ask, when you go to a market somewhere that might be outside, find out if they grew it or if they had it shipped in from somewhere. Okay? Eat real, whole, unprocessed foods. Eat mostly plants that are untrucked and raw or lightly cooked. So you want to eliminate the processed foods. Cooking methods to favor. Uh-oh, what's going on here? Let's see what happens. If it goes, okay, back it up. Something happened to our slide. So braise, go ahead. These are the ones to, okay. We're going to take a pause here, and I'm going to get my printed PowerPoint. No. Really? Okay, here's the ones to favor. Braising, steaming, poaching, baking, and stewing. You want me to repeat that? Please. Braise, steam, poach, bake, and stew. Okay? Now, here's the methods to avoid. No frying, no grilling, no roasting, and no microwave. And I'm going to go into a little bit of detail on this microwave. Now, the reason, I was like, I can't grill anymore? Why? It's because if it chars, it's a carcinogen. It's carcinogen. It's a carcinogen. It's carcinogenic. So you want to avoid that. Okay? So let's see how the next slide pops up. Okay, here we go. At best, microwaving changes the chemical bonding and molecular structure of every food and beverage that you put in it. Okay? At worst, it actually creates immunosuppressive and carcinogenic compounds. Okay? I want you guys, if you have a microwave, to start using it for storage. Okay? Never ever use it again, especially when you hear a little bit more than I'm going to share with you. It decreases nutritional value, your minerals, vitamins, and other nutrients. It affects blood composition by decreasing hemoglobin, altering the HDL and LDL ratios, causing a short-term decrease in white blood cells, and it increases leukocytes, which is an indicator of poison and cell damage. Wow. My husband was really sick in 2012. Linda remembers that. Really sick, in the hospital. He missed 3 months of work. His white blood count was 0.4. There were other things that were contributed to it, but we used the microwave. After I learned this, I said no more microwave. Now, it also causes digestive, reproductive, immune, and nervous system disturbances. I have had a lot of digestive issues. Now, let me share just a little bit. This is Dr. Silberstein's book, Hungrier for Health. It's a recipe book, and this one is gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan. She also has one that's hungry for health that has some meats in it. What's interesting is the first 80 pages are educational, and she talks about 10 reasons not to use your microwave. And I have a blog that I wrote that's on my website with this in it, so y'all can go there. It's on my card. You can go to my website and look for that one. But male and female hormone production is shut down. How many of us know lots of women who are having trouble having babies? Yeah. The nutrients and chemical in vegetables cooked in a microwave are altered into cancer-causing free radicals. It's a contributor to colon cancer. Y'all remember what I told you my mama died of? My mom also loved to make sure her food was charred. She would cook it a little extra. But here's the one that I really want you to listen to. Continually eating food processed in a microwave can produce virtually irreversible damage to the body's nervous system by shorting out electrical impulses in the brain and nerve centers. This can result in loss of memory, lack of concentration, emotional instability, and decreased intelligence. What does that sound like? America? Sounds like Alzheimer's. It sounds like dementia, Parkinson's. So many diseases that we are seeing that we didn't used to see. We didn't used to see children with cancer. We didn't used to see children with diabetes, and now we have hospitals for children with cancer. What is the reason? It's the sad diet, it's microwaves, it's not getting the exercise that's necessary, it's eating those fast foods. It's those things. And what I eat, I can send to my children. That's a scary thing to think about, isn't it? Okay, I think we're ready for the next slide. Okay, here's where you're going to see whether or not you've destroyed the nutrients. Red, they're destroyed. Blue, there's, some nutrient. Green is what you want. So, let me just get my notes back out so I can look at this and read it better. This is microwaved. That one's boiled, pressure cooked, and steamed. The best thing is to steam. And actually, broccoli, the nutrients and everything that's good for your body is better if your broccoli is steamed for like 3 to 4 minutes, and that's it. It's better. So look at what you're doing. And if you boil it and just pull it out and eat it, all the nutrients are where? In the water. Yeah. So steaming, you lose very, very little. Now, the pressure cooker is really popular right now. And yeah, the Instapot. Pressure cookers are really popular right now. And yet, you're losing a lot of your micronutrients in the water. So, I have one and I use it some. I've used it to make like a vegetable soup, so I'm eating everything that's there. But I know that even at that, it's not as good for me as if I eat the raw. Okay, next slide. Okay, we're going to get into some things here that just hang on with me. Acrylamide is a cancer-causing chemical formed as a result of heating starchy foods at high temperature. Starchy foods at high temperature, chips, French fries, hush puppies, okay, different things like that. Advanced glycation end products, or AGEs, are the molecules that form when heated sugars and starches attach to a protein. For instance, fried catfish, fried chicken, foods that I used to love to eat. If my mom said, "What do you want?" I would say fried chicken. Particularly when cooking at high temperatures in the absence of water to the point of browning. And we all want our fried chicken to be good and brown, right? And our catfish, well, we want it to be done. Listen to this. AGEs damage every tissue in the body and constitute a risk factor for cardiovascular disease, kidney damage, nerve degeneration, cancer, aging, Alzheimer's disease, and other chronic conditions. Wow. Does that make you want to no longer do fried food? You guys, this right here is something that people just talk so much about, and they wish there was a cure. There is. We don't need more research. Dr. Silberstein says we do not need more research. We need education. We need education. And if everybody would take this to heart and follow it, imagine what could happen. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, heterocyclic amines. These are formed when you cook protein like chicken or steak at high temperatures to that point of charring. Foods that are ingested that are charred are implicated in colon cancer. Okay? Do not cook in a Teflon-coated pan. Be very, very, very careful about what you cook your food in. I had a coach say that, he said, well, no wonder he has so many issues in his life. He's a nutrition coach. He said, my mom would fry our eggs in the Teflon pan and pour it out, and these little flakes of Teflon came with it. And he said, we just ate it. So it's dangerous to your body. And there's a lot of things on the market right now. What's recommended is stainless steel, and there are some very good stainless steel products on the market, or cast iron. PFOA and other chemicals in Teflon coatings are likely carcinogens. And look at this, they've been linked to thyroid and heart disease. Okay, we're almost finished. Here's your anti-cancer foods. The Oleaceous family, your garlic, leeks, scallion, and onion. And again, I'm going to give you a list of anti-cancer superfoods, okay? Lycopene, your tomatoes, beets, and watermelon. Chlorophyll, green leafy vegetables. Your cruciferous, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, kale, collards, and bok choy. Women who have breast cancer should flood their body with the cruciferous veggies. Those breast cancer cells hate cruciferous, absolutely despise it raw, okay, or lightly steamed on that broccoli. Berries, green tea, flax seeds, and on flax seeds, this is what I learned from Dr. Silberstein, is it is best to purchase the seed and not ground, because after it's ground, it can begin to be rancid. The golden flax seeds have the most value in them, but the brown and gold are both good. 2 tablespoons a day of flax seeds are amazing for your body. You can throw them in your blender, you can put them on a salad. I sometimes just sprinkle them on top of my salad. If I put them in a smoothie, I like to grind them in the coffee grinder and just dump them in that way. And then that way I know I get it in case any of the seeds didn't get blended up. Mushrooms, wow. Resveratrol, which is in your red grapes, and then fermented soy, okay? And now we're going to look at foods to avoid. Non-organic meat, especially processed, farm-raised fish, cow dairy, alcohol, sugar and artificial sweeteners, table salt. You want to use things like Celtic sea salt, Himalayan pink salt, those types of salts. Processed food, vegetable oils and trans fats, GMOs, soda, regular and diet, flour and commercial baked goods. Okay, next slide is just some contact information. There's my website, even my cell phone number, my email address. It's on my card when you get that information. And this is Richboro, Pennsylvania is where the Center for Advancement in Cancer Education is. You can go to her website, listen to her, share a little bit of her story, read some of her blog posts. That's just out of the Philadelphia area. And remember, I shared with you, it's a nonprofit organization. The only way that she makes it is she asks people who she counsels with if they will give a donation to the organization. That is how, and they'll have fundraisers and things like that. So if ever you're interested, you can give donations to them. Okay, next slide is my thank you. I just want to say thank you for investing in you. Really take this to heart. Really do your research. Take control of your own health. That's what I did. I began to do research because I didn't like the way I felt. I had gotten to where all I could eat was oatmeal and a baked potato. Now that's not good. And I began doing my own research. And there's a lot of websites out there, and Jake is so good with all of this also. He is so knowledgeable. So do your research and take control of your health. And if you are seeing a doctor, ask your doctor, what can we do? And you know, if your doctor makes fun of you and blows everything off and tells you that fruits and veggies don't make a difference, and that if you already have cancer, this is what I heard a cancer person shared with me, that their doctor said, you've already got cancer, nothing you do is going to help except for what we tell you to do. Whoa. And then another doctor told a group of men who had prostate cancer that food they eat won't make a difference. Those donuts and everything, you can eat those, that's not going to hurt you. It will. It's what's killing us. It's what's causing us to have full hospitals. So really, truly, take responsibility for yourself. You know how you feel. You know your body better than anybody else. Listen to it. As Dr. William Sears says, listen to the wisdom of your body. Because how many of you have been like, I know something's wrong, and my doctor won't listen to me. Have y'all ever had that? I have, and it made me mad. And that's when I decided I'm going to take control of this myself, and that's what I want to ask each of you to do. Take control of your own health. Thank you. And I think we're done.